What's up everybody, Alex Comstock here bringing you another Whitetail DNA video, and on today's video we're going to do a little gear review. Haven't done a gear review here in quite some time. Today we're going to talk about this spotting scope from Vortex. Before I got this spotting scope, and this is the Viper HD, I had never had a spotting scope before. I got that spotting scope last year and I've been able to put it to use quite a bit. Really like this spotting scope, and I figured today we're going to go ahead and talk about it a little bit, so we're just going to jump right into the review. Alright, so the first thing that I kind of noticed about this spotting scope was pretty big. Being that I'd never had a spotting scope before, didn't really know exactly what to expect other than, you know, I've seen them in the stores and whatnot, but I've never just had paid much attention to them that closely. And so this is a pretty big, this is the 20-60 zoom with an 85 millimeter objective lens. You can get a size smaller. I believe it's one size smaller. I'll go ahead and double check because I don't want to be telling you wrong information. Look at it right here on my computer. Let's see here, spotting scopes. Yep, so you can get it in one size smaller. You can also get this spotting scope in a straight or angled. I went with the straight just because I figured most of my glassing was gonna be from a car. And I know you kind of have to get used to angled, and I'd never used one before, so I figured I would just go with the straight. That way I could have it mounted up on my window and be able to look through it. Kind of why I went with the straight, but you can do the angled as well. After the size, another thing that really kind of stood out to me about the spotting scope was just how durable it really is. I mean, you can tell when you're holding it. I mean, just it's super durable. You've got this coating on the outside that is really nice. It's also waterproof if you are going to be using it while it's raining. So that's pretty sweet. Another thing that I noticed, or another thing that I really liked, was the adjustable eyepiece here. It's just a twist out. So if you're wearing glasses or sunglasses or whatever, you can adjust that. That way if I am wearing glasses, because if I don't have my contacts in, I'm pretty blind, I can go ahead and use this with glasses. That's definitely appealing to me. Another thing, we got the lens cap here obviously. And then it's got a sunshade. So that way if it's super sunny or the sun's hitting you just right, you can go and pull out that sunshade, and that's gonna make a big difference. So those are kind of just the cosmetic things. You got the zoom right here by the eyepiece where you can just adjust that. I haven't fully tested this on the range. I know last year I was doing some glassing out in North Dakota, and I could see exactly what tines a buck had at, I don't know, 700-800 yards. I mean, he was quite a ways out there. I could tell right away it was, you know, an 8-pointer and whatnot. So that's something I had never been able to do before. And that's really awesome because when it comes to glassing, you know, the most times I'm using this, either driving around in the summer, glassing bean fields, or if I'm set up on the edge of a bean field, trying to look for a certain deer or trying to check out a certain area, I don't have to try to get super close. You know, in years past, I was trying to do glassing and I would be trying to get as close as I can to be able to use my binoculars. And to be able to have a spotting scope, you can sit way back and you can see exactly what's going on. And that's really a big advantage for, you know, whitetail hunters in the summer if you're gonna be doing any type of glassing. Another thing too, the focus is right here. So it sets up really nicely because as you've got it and you're looking through it, you can just be turning this, doing your focus. Really helpful that it's just, I really like how big this focus ring is. I'm not sure on other spotting scopes if they're all like that, but the fact that this focus ring is so big, it makes it really easy when you're just got it on your tripod. You know, a couple other specs if you want the nitty gritties: 1.5 feet long, you know, it's about 76 ounces, so a little heavy, but not too bad. It does adjust, so the nice thing is this does automatically connect to some Manfrotto tripods. The ones that I use, I still just put my base plate on it because I use like kind of my bigger, bulkier tripod. But then you can rotate it with this right here on its axis. So I don't know if you can kind of tell here, you can rotate it. I don't find that to be as big of an advantage with the straight spotting scope, but if you had the angled one, it's the same thing. So depending on what angle, if you're in a car, then you could go ahead and turn this, and then you can go ahead and lock it into place. So that's pretty neat. Overall, I'm really impressed with this. I really like the spotting scope. I'm gonna put it to use here a lot more this summer. And another thing that I like is it comes with this little sleeve for some added protection. I usually actually run this all the time with this on. Pretty easy to put on. You just go ahead and slide it on here quick. Takes a couple seconds just to get it all pulled to where you want it. Over the eyepiece. Pull it down. And boom. In a minute. You got it on. Nice thing when you have the case on, you can still just easily, it's got the little gap here where your focus ring is. So you go ahead and just still use that easily. And you've got an additional cover on each side. And you've got the normal lens cap. Then you also have this cover. So then you kind of get a little added protection. So at the end of the day, I'm really impressed with this spotting scope. I think for the price, I mean, MSRP is at $13.49. So that is expensive, but in the world of optics, I mean, you can be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on glass. And for what you're gonna get with that price tag, I would definitely recommend the spotting scope. If you have any more questions, just drop a comment below. Otherwise, head to the link here. I'll link it down to Vortex's website where you can go check out all the details on the spotting scope if you want any more information from Vortex. I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd ask that you just hit the subscribe and like down below. That really does help me as we move forward. And then I'll be having more videos here really shortly. I'm gonna be talking some summer scouting stuff, some trail cam stuff, a couple more gear reviews. Got a whole bunch of more stuff coming over the next few months. Once again, I appreciate you watching. I'll see you here next time.